NFL uniforms, in my opinion, are one of the most important aspects of a football team. Because hey, let's be honest, what's the point in winning if you don't look good while doing it? But with that being said, there are certainly a couple of teams out there, both successful and, well, not so successful, that definitely could use a couple of updates.
I still don't agree with your Buffalo Bills at number 5 for the 5 worst uniforms. Other than that, I can get on board with just about anything else you're saying there.
Creating the perfect NFL uniform is no easy task. Between the color scheme for each article of clothing and the overall design of the outfit, there are plenty of things that can bring out the online trolls. Teams like the 49ers, Cowboys, and Packers have avoided such criticism thanks to their historically solid uniform choices. But several other NFL teams haven't been so lucky. Some teams are still struggling to get it just right, but that shouldn't stop them from trying. Here are 10 NFL teams who should change their uniforms ASAP. And hey, a big shout out to Avery Mayes for suggesting this video. New England Patriots. At first, we were pretty high on the Patriots' new uniforms in the post-Tom Brady era. We ranked them number 2 on our list for the 7 new uniform designs for the 2020 NFL season. But as time has passed, our love for them has faded. Maybe it's just too weird watching this team without Brady, Edelman, and Gronk. The thing is, the Patriots were the NFL's golden dynasty for 2 decades. And when you become a perennial winner, your logos, uniforms, and team name just naturally become iconic and universally loved. I mean, nobody's asked the Los Angeles Lakers, New York Yankees, Pittsburgh Steelers, or Montreal Canadiens to change their uniforms. Maybe it's too soon, but we're already asking the Patriots to consider going back to their previous jerseys. We just don't buy the all-navy home uniforms, and these outfits are a little too futuristic looking. We're not in the 2050s just yet, right, Doc Brown? The Patriots need to go back to the 2000s and 2010s era and reunite with the previous navy jersey/gray pants combination. Feel free to change the color and pattern designs for the shoulder patches too. These new ones just don't work for us anymore. Washington football team. Washington has yet to reveal their new team name. Didn't know that it took 2 years to make a decision. But anyway, the old team name was scrapped, but the football team kept their main colors for at least 2020 and 2021. But here's the problem. They're reportedly planning to maintain the primary burgundy and gold colors. But like, why? Does anyone here really like that color combination? Personally, we think a fresh start is in order for a team that has been marred by constant losing and horrible off-the-field controversies ever since Dan Snyder became the owner in 1999. It's time to forget about the 1999 to 2019 period and introduce different colors, designs, and schemes for the new uniforms. For instance, what if they change the name to something that relates to the nation's capital, like the Washington Nationals and Washington Capitals did? Wouldn't it be slick to have a new uniform that reflects America's colors of red, white, and blue? The Nats, Caps, and Washington Wizards have all incorporated those 3 colors creatively in their respective uniforms. Washington may be planning to keep the burgundy and gold colors for now, but we're hoping that they'll change down the road. These colors just don't do it anymore, and the forgettable first 20 years of Dan Snyder's reign need to be forgotten about forever. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, hold it. Our main reason for putting the Buccaneers on here is because we downright cannot stand those awful and hideous pewter uniforms. And the white ones don't really do it for us either. We loved the decision to return to the uniform colors and designs that the Bucs donned from 1997 to 2013. The red home uniforms and the pewter pants always went nicely together. And with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski arriving, it made sense to start the new era with a different uniform design, right? But here's our concern. Why can't the Bucs just scrap the horrendous pewter jerseys for good and stick with the red/pewter combination? And for the all-white uniforms, can't you at least make the switch to pewter-colored pants? Plain white all around is just boring. And when you have slick main colors like the Bucs, why not include them in the white outfits a little more? At least the main and home uniforms work nicely. Still, 1 out of 3 ain't great. Here's hoping the Bucs, who are suddenly a powerhouse NFL franchise again, can actually decide to look good year-round while they dominate on the football field. Step 1, retire the all-pewter jerseys, please. Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL's saddest franchise, at least right now, launched a new era when they brought in legendary college coach Urban Meyer for his first NFL coaching job. Then came the arrival of generational quarterback Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick in the 2021 draft. Alright, that's fun and all, but now it's time to continue the shift into this new era by bringing in new uniforms. We still like the teal as the main colors, but the all-white ones gotta go. And the home unis could use some tweaks. For instance, shouldn't the primary home jerseys have at least some black and gold colors in there? Something similar to the franchise's original uniforms? But throwback to the 90s. Sure would be nice. Not big fans of the all-teal design either. We'd rather the Jaguars' main home uniforms have teal jerseys and black pants. The all-white uniforms can go as well. I just hate that style. Not sure why several NFL teams have that. At least change the colors of the pants to black or teal, or add some gold in there. The Jaguars introduced these new uniforms in 2018. Not sure why they decided to scrap the glamorous gold stripes. They were a cool feature, and they deserve a comeback if, and hopefully when, the Jaguars finally decide to change their outfits. Arizona Cardinals. The current Cardinals uniforms were introduced in 2005. They were unquestionably an upgrade from the previous outfits that looked, I don't know, a little too 1960s maybe? But here we are, more than a decade and a half later. The uniforms have run their course, and it'd be nice if the Cardinals decided to tweak them, even just a little bit. Obviously, red and white are here to stay as the main colors, but aren't the overall designs a little bland? The pants, shoulder patches, and pants could use some more stripes, or even some more black. The red home outfits especially need a little more design. There just isn't any creativity in these. The road uniforms also don't work for us. Red colored pants, for instance, would mesh better with the white jerseys. The Cardinals haven't made any real drastic changes to their uniforms in a long time. With Kyler Murray fronting a promising new era of Arizona football, we highly suggest they freshen things up with a much more modern look. And I mean, it's not like there's a history of winning and success with these uniforms. Just look at what happened to the Bucs, who've won 2 Super Bowls since switching their look at the turn of the century. The Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons were one of 7 teams that changed their uniforms for 2020. The main colors of red, black, and white remain intact, but the overall designs were considerably different than the previous ones they donned for nearly 2 decades. The Falcons weren't exactly a premier franchise for most of the 2000s and 2010s, but Michael Vick, Matt Ryan, and Julio Jones gave those uniforms a certain level of significance. But the new uniforms that were introduced in 2020, they look more like XFL colors. Honestly, there are too many things going on here. The previous uniforms had a nice, simplistic look. We're already missing the all-red jerseys that went with the white pants. These new red and black alternate one unis are just not the least bit desirable. But, of course, a change isn't about to come in the near future, no matter how much we complain. The Falcons' new uniforms are here to stay for at least a few years. But hopefully the next change comes sooner rather than later. New York Jets. The Jets' previous outfits, which were worn from 1998 to 2018, had a simple, old-school look to them. And it meshed well because the Jets played old-school football for much of the 2000s and early 2010s. We're talking run the football down your throat and win with a suffocating defense type of football. But in 2019, the Jets decided to ditch those outfits for a shinier and much more futuristic look. At first, we actually kind of liked the jerseys, although the shiny green helmets were a little too much. This isn't a 2030s Star Wars movie. Maybe it's just because the Jets are such a sad franchise. If you want to pull off a look like that, you at least need to be a decent team that can win some games and battle for a playoff spot. All of which these Jets are not. Maybe that'll change under Quinnen Williams, Zach Wilson, and Robert Saleh. If the Jets ever become a winner, perhaps these jerseys will start to grow on us. But for now, we're longing for the return of the ones they had for 20 years, from 98 to 2018. Detroit Lions. Though the Lions didn't endure much success in the 2000s and first half of the 2010s, we totally dug those old school uniforms. They had a nice retro look, which of course fitted one of the NFL's oldest franchises. In 2017, the Lions revealed brand new uniforms that included a modernized look. And they also introduced all gray alternate uniforms. There just isn't a whole lot to like about this. Even the throwback unis look way too futuristic. Sorry to use that word again, but it's true. And we're gonna be real blunt here. The all-gray uniforms are hideous. We would not complain if those were just retired forever. Sorry if this is harsh, but they never should have ditched that slick, old-school look. Not for what they have now. Indianapolis Colts. Like the Cardinals, the Colts haven't really made any significant changes to their team colors or uniforms throughout the years. And while I'm usually for an old school look, I do believe these old school blue and white unis could use some long overdue tweaks. The primary blue and white colors can stay. Obviously, you don't want to move away from the franchise's roots, which go back to their days in Baltimore. But can't the Colts at least add a third color of some sort in there? Or here's another suggestion. Why not complement the white jerseys with some blue pants? It would just be nice if the Colts gave these things a little update. You can't just don the same old outfits forever without any notable changes. But who knows if these changes will ever come. History tells us to not hold our breath. Cleveland Browns. The Browns were also among the 7 teams that changed their uniforms in 2020. But like the Patriots and Falcons, we simply don't care for their new look. Unlike those other 2 clubs, however, we weren't sold on Cleveland's previous uniforms either. On the bright side, the 2020 Browns ended an 18-year playoff drought and won the franchise its first playoff game since 1994. So maybe the uniform changes are being mostly well received in the land. Anyway, it's hard to put a crafty helmet and uniform together when your name is the Browns, which is just about the ugliest color out there. Maybe next to orange, which just so happens to be the team's other main color. But that's just how it is. Sometimes you just gotta work with what you're given. That being said, the all-brown alternate uniforms aren't the least bit pretty. Orange pants or socks or even some stripes along the jerseys and pants would make them stand out a little more. The main home uniform, the brown jerseys with the orange pants, are a decent look, but we'd almost suggest ditching some or all the striping on those ones. You don't need it on the shoulder pads, pants, and socks. That's just a little too much. That's just my opinion though. If the Browns become a perennial winner going forward, and they have the talent to do just that, maybe the uniforms will earn our admiration a little more. But a little more creativity, some additional patterns, and adjustments to the all-brown uniforms would all be welcomed changes. But hey, what NFL team do you think needs a uniform change the most? Join us in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.